that Tom Russell song about man's erection? Yeah, he wrote that.
Who's playing bass tonight?
Where is everybody? Where is everybody? He was here.
I think they heard we were coming.
Yeah. Hello, hello.
I don't know who this is behind you. He's got a glass of water in the chair.
I know, that's why I can't move it. So, okay. So we have some little changes as far as this gate goes. Right now, it's open, but a lot of people come earlier, and that's going to be locked. So there's two things you can do. You could go to the security guard and go around through the security guard and drive around the campus to the back here. Okay, then you can come and go whenever you want, and you don't have to wait for somebody to open the gate for you. Okay, the other thing you can do is when you come in, if you don't want to drive around, you can go to the security guard and tell them you want to park here and come through the gate. And they will come, like somebody did that, Marty did that, and within 2 minutes, they came and opened the gate. Okay, and then they close it after you. Now, when we leave, this is going to be a problem for people who are parked out here. If you want to leave way before we end, you're not going to have that gate open. But what happens at the end is I call security, and then around 8 o'clock, and tell them we're leaving, and then they come right away and open the gate and stay there until we're all gone. Okay? So it's a little bit inconvenience. If you don't want to be inconvenienced with that, again, you can just go through the security guard. If it's the first time, just tell the security guard you want to go through and park so that you can come to the Life Center, and they can guide you through how to do that. Okay? So that's the easiest way I can do it. Apparently, they've had some incidents on the campus. There are some people, well, what do they do when they have celebration of life or other events on the campus and the gate is open? And I found out that they actually have somebody from marketing that watches the gate while people are in here. So there is somebody always watching the gate while the gate is open. Okay, so we don't have anybody from marketing because we're outside. They don't have enough security. They have a shortage of security personnel, so they don't have anybody to watch the gate while we're in here. So that's why we have to do this. Okay, so I finally got an yeah, otherwise you have to walk through the lobby and around. So those are our options. And I think that's pretty good. There's plenty of parking in the back here. Just there's some of us that have started doing this. I know I used to park up here all the time. Now I just go in the back. It's just the easiest way. Okay, but we may lose some people because of this. I know change is hard. So talk to people that you see out there that aren't coming, and see if you can coax them back. Okay, so I'm going to start key of C. I'm going to start with a Carter family song. It's called Bury Me Under the Weeping Willow. And it was the first song that they recorded in the Bristol sessions in 1927. Okay. My heart is sad and I'm in sorrow for the only one I love. When shall I see him? Oh, no, never till I meet him in heaven above. Oh, bear me under the weeping willow, yes, under the weeping willow tree, so he may know where I am sleeping, and perhaps he will weep for me. He told me that he did not love me. I could not believe it was true, until an angel softly whispered, he is proving untrue to you. Oh, bear me under the weeping willow, yes, under the weeping willow tree, so he may know where I am sleeping, and perhaps he will weep for me. Tomorrow was our wedding day, but oh Lord, oh, where is he? He's gone to seek him another bride, and he cares no more for me. Oh, bear me under the weeping willow, yes, under the weeping willow tree, so he may know where I am sleeping, and perhaps he will weep for me. Oh, pair me under the tallest spruce to prove my love to him. Tell him that I would die to save him, for his love I never could win. Oh, pair me under the weeping willow, yes, under the weeping willow tree, so he may know where I am sleeping, and perhaps he will weep for me. Take it home.
Very good.
You do, you are up. Get me, I'm gonna get Tommy and Basin. I'm gonna get my banjo.
Is that your water?
Okay.
Okay.
One amp, I'll bring an amp in for you too. Oh, okay.
Well, somebody.
But you sound fine just without it. You sound good.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey, this one comes with too.
He's gonna go get his other.
Can we do something?
You want this?
No, let's do a Chopin. Do you have your viola with you? Okay, we'll do,
I will. Hey, Bill. I'll need that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna stand up. Is that right here? I can do it. Stay where I am.
Yeah,
You know, I was just getting it out of the way.
I can sit here. I'll do it.
yeah.
Goody.
But we won't be able to hear you though.
Well, Barbara will take care of that.
are we gonna go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Chopin,
Get him on back. Key D?
key of D.
Key D dog.
Very Christmas.
Okay, now,
Sorry.
Got teleprompter.
Good chance to get in the action.
thing doesn't have wheels on it?
This is a prototype.
It's nowhere near big enough.
Merry
Key,
Christmas.
same key, key of dog. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Now from this valley they say you are going. We will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile. For they say you are taking the sunshine that brightens our pathway a while. Everybody, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine Come and sit by my side if you love me. Do not hasten to bid me adieu. But remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy that loved you so true. Here we go now. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. I will wait in the place where you left me while the ground is all covered with snow. I will wait until we are together in the springtime when wildflowers grow. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Oh, please don't take my sunshine away. You're the little lady.
Very good. Merry Christmas.
Uh-oh, we got.
I'll get it.
I like it. There you go. Key. Dunk.
So we're going all natural, you and me?
Yeah.
Au naturel. Did I hear him say au naturel?
No electricity.
I love it when you talk French. Okay. Howdy.
Howdy.
No, come on. Howdy.
Howdy!
All right, it's better. I was going to do a. Did you practice what I told you to practice? Over there? You didn't do it. Okay, so we can't do the experiment in terror. All right, so we won't do the experiment in terror. What am I talking about? I have no idea.
What key is that?
This is going to be the key of E for those of you polka-ing along. Ten years ago, on a cold winter's night, someone was killed beneath a town hall line. There were few at the scene, but they all did agree that the Slayer ran look a lot like me. She walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave when the night winds wail. Nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody cares but me. The judge said, son, what is your alibi? If you were somewhere else, you won't have to die. I spoke not a word, though it meant my life, for I had been in the arms of my best friend's wife. She walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave when the night winds wail. Nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody cares but me. The gallows stood high, eternity near. She stood in the crowd, shed not a tear. Ah, but sometimes nights when the cold wind moans, she stands on my grave, weeps o'er my bones. She walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave when the night winds wail. Nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody cares but me. Thank you.
Okay, let's get Dottie up here with a poem.
I don't know, we can get that up close enough to be talking to it or not. Forget it.
Is it easy for you to get up and just move? Dottie's first.
No, we got Dottie.
Dottie's first.
Wait, Paul. Wait.
Dottie's first.
Oh, hi, Dottie.
Okay, Dottie.
What do you got to say for yourself, Dottie?
Howdy.
Minnie Pearl Dottie.
Well, this is a poem about my mother in honor of Mother's Day coming up Sunday.
Yeah.
So, am I coming through? Okay. Mother gave us a legacy of love. She raised 2 girls of her own. She loved a stepson as though he were hers, though he never lived in our home. She managed her household while working full time, but made time to tend to our needs. She'd kiss away hurts, help with homework too, and arbitrate our squabbles and beefs. She was homeroom mother and also served as leader of Campfire and Bluebirds. She taught Sunday school to youngsters at church. She showed by example, not words. The projects brought home we had made in school, she always found places to show. As we grew older and more mature, she knew just when to let go. She always managed to put God first and taught us to do the same. She was a living example of love, and fond memories of her will remain.
Beautiful.
Okay, Paul.
Now I gotta try to get up.
Get the winch.
And that's the humor of the evening.
Yeah, you did it.
Now, next thing is gonna be,
You gonna sit or stand?
yeah,
You gonna sit?
yeah, I'll sit.
Okay.
Now can I get where I can read? That's the next thing. Yeah, there we go.
Do it really tight, there's no notch on it.
Okay. Now, can you hear me in the back? Wave your arm if you can. Hey, good. I like those arms. Thank you. Okay. I was noticing the other day that a certain amount of my repertoire is Irish. Okay, that's life in the name of Sullivan. What do you expect, you know? No, Clance. No. Put her back in dog. Now Clancy was a peaceful man, if you know what I mean. The cops picked up the pieces after Clancy left the scene. He never looked for trouble, that's a fact you can assume. But nevertheless, when trouble would press, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy, oh, that Clancy. Whenever you got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Boom, boom, boom. And you're going to be singing that with me here after each verse. O'Leary was a fighting man, they all knew he was tough. He strutted round the neighborhood, a-shooting off his guff. He picked a fight with Clancy, then and there he sealed his doom. Before he could shout, "O'Leary, look out!" Clancy lowered the boom. Now, Clancy, oh, that Clancy. Whenever you got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Boom. Clancy left the barber shop with tonic on his hair. He walked into the pool room, and he met O'Reilly there. O'Reilly said, "For goodness sake, now do I smell perfume?" Before he could stack your cue in the wreck, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy, oh, that Clancy. Whenever you got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Clancy. Mulrooney walked into the bar and ordered up a round. He left his drink to telephone, and Clancy drank it down. Mulrooney said, "Who drunk me drink? I'll lay him in his tomb." Before he could pat the top of your hat, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy, oh, that Clancy. Before he could get the Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, Houlihan delivered ice to Mrs. Clancy's flat. He'd always linger for a while to talk of this and that. One day he kissed her just as Clancy walked into the room. Before he could say the time of day, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy, oh, that Clancy. Before he could get his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. The neighbors all turned out for Kate O'Grady's wedding night. McDougal said, "Let's have some fun. I think I'll start a fight." He wrecked the hall and kissed the bride and pulverized the groom. Then quick as a wink, quick as a think, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy, oh, that Clancy. Before he could get his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom.
Ken, come on up, Ken. You got a poem? Raise it up to Ken. He's gonna have a poem. Or should he use that mic over there? Should he use that mic? It's pretty high.
Okay, everybody here? This is a poem called Smarter than a rat. That's quite a contrast to Dottie's. David Castro was a very fine kid, though at times I'd like to cover his mouth with a lid. He was smart as a rat, and he wasn't too bothersome if you can imagine that. He had a round head and wore thick glasses that got smashed to smithereens before start of classes. One day when Mrs. Smith's class was working on math, a kid gave the wrong answer and got a big laugh. Mrs. Smith called on David, who knew the answer right away. She said, "You're smarter than a fifth grader today." "Today," replied David, "I'm smarter than that. I'm smarter than a smart board. I'm smarter than a rat." Then a light bulb lit up in Mrs. Smith's brain. "I bet you're not, just as sure as there'll be no rain. We'll have a contest, you versus the board. 5 problems," she told David. "Solve 3 and you win." Then she blew the whistle, "Let the game begin." The first question, I'm sure, will be lots of fun. All you have to do is find the square root of 1. What's a square root? David didn't know. But the smart board gave the answer, and David felt quite low. Mrs. Smith announced the second problem will be easy to do. Just give the answer to 1 minus 2. David knew nothing of negative numbers, but the smart board wrote -1 and fell back to its slumbers. David protested problem 2, but he didn't get a break. When problem 3 arrived, his head had started to ache. Problem 3 was to find 1 to the power of 10. "I give up," he cried. "This contest is weird." The smartboard yawned, and number 1 appeared. David shouted, "No one's as smart as that board. To enter this quiz, I was out of my gourd." But at the end, David was smarter than before, for he learned that against a smartboard, you should never go to war. Thank you.
Hey, Lynn.
Is here okay? I'm not going to play anything. Okay, and I should stand right here? Okay. So I'm going to sing an F. This is the Wagoner's Lad.
Still need to protect.
Whoa!
It's not going to do it all for you.
It isn't? It isn't? I'm not used to that. Okay. Okay, this is the Wagoner's Lad, and I think I'm going to try and get an F if Bob will give me an F, or I can probably do an F.
Give F.
Oh, hard is the fortune of all womankind. She's always controlled, she's always confined, controlled by her parents until she's a wife, a slave to her husband the rest of her life. Oh, I'm just a poor girl, my fortune is sad. I've always been courted by the wagoner's lad. He's courted me daily, by night and by day, and now he is loading and going away. Your horses are hungry, go feed them some hay, and sit down here by me as long as you may. My horses aren't hungry, they won't eat your hay. So fare thee well, darling, I'll be on my way. Your wagon needs greasing, your whip is to mend. So sit down here by me as long as you can. My wagon is greasy, my whip's in my hand. So fare thee well, darling, no longer to stand.
Hey, Bob.
Okay, since Linda sang without accompaniment, I'm going to play the accompaniment without singing. It's an instrumental in the key of G. And yeah.
Key G, George.
Am I? Okay, thank you.
Okay, Lauren.
Well, I don't know if I can sing tonight or not. I got up this morning and I mean, it was pretty growly, pretty bad. So, and I think I wrote this song about 20 years ago. I'm not sure.
When you were 19?
Yeah, when I was about 18 and a half, really. But no, seriously, this morning I got up, I thought, well, I'm not going to make it tonight. Oh, thank you. You got me plugged in?
Let it get turned on. Key,
A.
A.
If you'll notice, there is only 11 roses. I chose them from our garden when they grew. Take the roses and look into your mirror, and the 12th rose will be looking back at you. There's just something about a spray of roses. Oh, to a woman, they mean more than anything. After what I've done, you can keep the roses. But I just thought I would send them anyway. Can you play it, Bill? Or anybody? if you'll notice, there is only 11 roses. I chose them from our garden where they grew. Take the roses and look into your mirror, and the 12th rose will be looking back at you. There's just something about a spray of roses. Oh, to a woman, they say more than anything. And after what I've done, you can keep your roses. But I just thought you would love them anyway. I just thought you would love them anyway. Thank you.
You did it.
Not
I didn't
very
know, that's what I was
good.
asking, now or later?
Do later.
Okay? That's it. Okay, Come on, Austin.
You got a whole set.
That's why I asked. You're next. You're next. You bring it over, you want it over there, or we bring it to you? You want to turn this thing on? Barbara's direction. All right. We all do what Barbara says. You want me to turn this thing on? Otherwise we get in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I just take, oh, no.
I am used to it, I like it.
What do you do if she says it's still getting in trouble?
How bad does it sound?
This is a K. Is this a K? It's an old K base? Yep.
All righty here, let's see, I'm headed on a new trail down here. I'm gonna like staying away from trying to do those songs that have minors in it. So I'll have to catch Mike Brennan some other time and do that song he likes about a taste of black coffee, because I find myself getting discombobulated up here. I'll try this little tune. One time I was up at Yosemite, and I ran into these two kids up there. It was one kid, I think their names were Joe and Pete, I think. But they were riding these Vespa motor scooters around the United States. And so Joe, he shared this little Woody Guthrie song with me, and so I kind of started singing it, and so I'll try it for you. There is a house in this old town, and that's where my true love lays around. And she takes the men down on her knee, and she tells them little tales she won't tell me. Oh, it's hard and it's hard, ain't it hard, to love one who never did love you. It's hard and it's hard, ain't it hard, great God, to love one who never will be true. Well, the first time I seen my little true love, she was standing there in the door. And the last time I saw her false-hearted face, she was dead on the old barroom floor. Play one, Bill. Said it's hard and it's hard, ain't it hard, to to love one who never did love you. Oh, it's hard and it's hard, ain't it hard, great God, to love one who never will be true. Well, the first time I seen my little true love, she was laying in there in the door. And the last time I saw her false-hearted face, she was dead on the old barroom floor. Oh, it's hard and it's hard, ain't it hard, to love one who never did love you. Oh, it's hard and it's hard, ain't it hard, great God, to love one who never will be true. Don't go there a-drinking and a-gambling, don't go there your sorrows for to drown. For that hard liquor place is a low-down disgrace, it's the meanest damn place in this old town. Oh, it's hard and it's hard, ain't it hard, to love one who never did love you. Oh, it's hard and it's hard, ain't it hard, great God, to love one who never will be true. Bring us home, Bill.
I'm going to try something very different. It's going to be an a cappella number with two members of the audience. Who
kneecaps?
Huh?
Never mind.
So these are good friends of mine. We sing in a group, and since they happen to be here tonight, they're obliging me by helping out. We'll do this. Do you want to do the middle?
We both only sing melody.
Okay, you sing the melody. I'll do the. What can
Barb could do low.
I'll go low and then I'll go high. Okay. Or something like that.
Yeah?
What? Can I put these down here?
Sure. Here, I'll take it. Okay.
Ooh, test. I feel like we should be on the radio or something, huh? May peace be with you. Peace be with you now. May peace be with you always. Peace be with you now and always. May love be with you. Love be with you now. May love be with you always. Love be with you now and always. May grace be with you. Grace be with you now. May grace be with you always. Grace be with you now and always. May peace be with you. Peace be with you now. May peace be with you always. Peace be with you now and always. Jan and Mary. Carolyn.
Why don't you take make this one just a little higher.
E, echo. E, echo. Edward.
I got a belly full of whiskey, head full of gin. Doc says kill me, he don't say when. I'm a long line skinner, whoo, my home's out west. I'm a-looking for the woman gonna treat me best. Down in the bottom, skinning mules for Johnny Ryan. I cut my initials on the mules behind. I'm a long line skinner, whoo, my home's out west. I'm a-looking for the woman gonna treat me best. When the weather gets chilly, I pack my line. I don't skin them in the winter time. I'm a long line skinner. Oh, my home's out west. I'm a-looking for the woman gonna treat me best. Do-do-do-do, down, down, bow, 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 bow. Well, see, pretty woman, see what you done. You made me love you, now your man done come. I'm a long line skinner, how? My home's out west. Yeah, I'm looking for the woman gonna treat me best.
Carolyn?
Where's the music?
Okay, Carolyn,
Okay.
do something, and then we'll get Dottie up. You got another poem, right? Play the good one. Got your mother-in-law?
Everybody got their horns ready? Let's see. What key are we doing this in? C. C. Okay.
It's the only one I'm doing
Key of C.
today.
Key of C.
Charlie.
Winchester Cathedral, you're bringing me down. You stood and you watched as my baby left town. You could have done something, but you didn't try. You didn't do nothing. You let him walk by. Now everyone knows just how much I needed that guy. He wouldn't have gone far away if only you'd started ringing your bell. Winchester Cathedral, you're bringing me down. You stood and you watched as my baby left town. Wah, 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 join me. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. 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 Wah, 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 wah. wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah. Now everyone knows just how much I needed that guy. He wouldn't have gone far away if only you'd started ringing that bell. Winchester Cathedral, you're bringing me down. You stood and you watched as my baby left town. You want to do it? Everyone knows just how much we needed that people. We wouldn't have gone far away if only you'd started ringing your bell. Winchester Cathedral, you're bringing me down. You stood and you watched as my baby left town. Woo! Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I read you a poem about my mother. I figure I better give equal time to my mother-in-law. This is called To Cleota. That was my mother-in-law's name. There is a woman, though small in stature, big of heart and kind. A woman meek in nature, yet strong of soul and mind. A woman busy with her own work, yet stops to help a friend. This woman, though time is short, always has time to lend. This woman, though disappointed, never mentions the flaw. I couldn't have chosen a better woman to be my mother-in-law.
Okay, Igor, finish this up here.
We done Joshua's battle lately?
We haven't.
Did we do it last time or no?
We did it a couple months ago, a month ago. Whatever you want to do.
Something fast.
Something nice and snappy.
5 minutes.
Sunday night I read.
Whatever you say.
Jim G?
DJ George. George.
The Saturday night I got married. Me and my wife settled down. Now me and my wife are parted. Yes, I'll take a little stroll downtown. Everybody! Irene, goodbye. Irene, goodbye. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Now sometimes I live in the country, and sometimes I live in town, and sometimes I take a great notion just to jump on Joan Rivers and drown. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Sometimes Irene wears pajamas, sometimes she wears a nightgown, but out with her, both in the cleaners. My Irene is the talk of the town. Everybody! Irene, goodbye. Irene, goodbye. Goodbye, Irene, goodbye, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Got a verse?
Stop your rambling, stop your gambling, stop staying out so late at night. Go home to your wife and your family and stay by the fireside bright. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams.
Last night as Irene lay on her pillow, last night as she lay on her bed, she stuck both her feet out the window. Next morning the neighbors were dead.
Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Thank you, one and all.
Okay. Give a big hand to the jammers tonight. Yeah. Now, don't go away. We've got a real treat. We have Marty Province coming up next. Woo-hoo.
That's what somebody told me.
Orchestra.
It was so good.
That's what I've heard from everybody that went and saw it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he wrote the list.
I will use that music stand, but I keep it pretty low.
So is that good enough for you?
Yeah. Move it out a little bit so I don't have to, I'm not looking down that way. Now I'm looking out. I know them pretty well. Make sure the pedal works. And it does. Yeah, I better leave those on. I'm ready whenever you are.
He's ready.
Oh, no, that's, you stay up here. I don't mind. Yeah, is Igor or Tommy going to play? Is one of you two going to play? Okay, well, Igor needs to play.
Igor?
I need a bass player.
Okay, so I'll keep you on this one. You guys will stand.
We need to move this thing out to pick up the guitar. Or... I'm not a condenser mic person, so you tell me. Peace, peace will. I can take a hint. Everybody's a critic.
Wow.
I didn't do it. I didn't touch it.
Sorry my life, Marty.
Well, whoever did this last
Peace will come. Let it begin with me. We need peace. Let it begin with me. Oh, my own life is all I can hope to control. Let my life be lived for the good of my soul. Let it ring. I hear the voice. Is the guitar coming through? Let it begin with me. With me. With me. I'm gonna step back that far. I gotta move this back. My eyes aren't that good.
You want to use that one?
Yeah. Yeah, that way you can see my fingers. I'm gonna be this side.
Just in front of a condenser mic.
Pull the tape. This condenser might break this person, but that one.
This one, not that one.
That one won't reach. The cord's not long enough. I don't think. That tape is fine. Technical difficulties. In real life, I'm an orchestra conductor. Me, Dory, and Jim were there last week. Anybody who wasn't there, I'm telling you, it was the best concert ever given in the town of Gilbert. And if you weren't there, you can't prove me wrong. So there were only a couple of moments where I lost blood out the side of my head, where I was sweating blood. Next one's October the 12th. Hope you'll come. It'll be at the Higley Center. Have no idea what we're going to play. I thought we were going to do something with the men's chorus from ASU, but they turned me down. So, well, they got a busy schedule. So now I got to go back to square one and figure out what it is we're going to do.
Okay.
Are we ready? All right. Making sure that pedal works, because I got so old I can't remember all the words anymore. I used to be able to do that. Hi, my name is Marty Province, and I live in Chandler. And like I say, in real life, I'm an orchestra conductor, and I used to be a choir director, and used to be a band director. I have been a lot of things. In fact, my wife says I'm the biggest has-been that there was. So. But I was at ASU for 5 years until they determined I was not the future of their program. And then I was at Scottsdale Philharmonic. I was their founding conductor until they determined I was not the future of their program. I say I've been fired for more jobs than most people have had, I think. And as I get older, my birthday last Saturday was at the concert. They had a great big concert in Gilbert for me for my birthday, although they didn't know it at the time. And now I'm officially closer to 70 than 65. I finally made that milestone ahead. And this song I've known for a long time. As I get older and get let go from more jobs, becomes a little more meaningful to me. It's got two bad words right at the beginning, so if you cover your ears now, they'll be gone real quickly. I spent my whole life making somebody rich, busted my ass for that son of a bitch. Then he left me to die like a dog in a ditch, and he told me I'm all used up. He used up my labor, he used up my time. He plundered my body and squandered my mind, and gave me a pension of handouts and wine. Told me I'm all used up. That's all the bad words, I promise. My kids are in hock to a god they call work, slaving their lives out for some other jerk. My youngest in Frisco just made shipping clerk, and he don't know I'm all used up. Young people reaching for power and gold don't have respect for anything old. For pennies they're bought and for promises sold. Someday they'll be all used up. They use up the oil and they use up the trees, use up the air and they use up the seas. Well, how about you, friend, and how about me? What's left when we're all used up? I'll finish my life in this crummy hotel. It's lousy with bugs and my God, what a smell. But my plumbing still works and I'm clear as a bell. Don't tell me I'm all used up. Outside my window the world passes by. It gives me a handout and spits in my eye. And no one can tell me, 'cause no one knows why. I'm living but I'm all used up. Sometimes in a dream I live by a tree. My life is a book of how things used to be. And the kids gather round and they listen to me. And they don't think I'm all used up. And there's songs and there's laughter and things I can do. And all that I've learned I can give back to you. I'd give my last breath just to make it come true. And to know I'm not all used up. They use up the oil and they use up the trees. They use up the air and they use up the seas. But as long as I'm breathing, they won't use up me. Don't tell me I'm all used up. Thank you. Some of you have heard this before, but I'm going to repeat it again because I don't have that many things I can do, and maybe you haven't heard it. But I grew up in a very small town in North Carolina where there were actually very few opportunities of somebody who a young man might date, to the point that my older brother stole my junior high sweetheart. I married my younger brother's junior high sweetheart after being madly in love with her older sister when I was in 6th grade. And then when my wife and I, my now wife, when we were dating, her sister's husband's mother tried to set me up with her sister's husband's sister. While I was dating her, I mean, we were visiting my father-in-law in the hospital, and while we were in the hospital, she was trying to get me and this woman together. So you can imagine that family reunions around my house are interesting at best. This is a story about a young man. This is a song by Mike Cross, a young man who finds himself in not exactly the same position, but he's having trouble finding someone in his small town to go out with. I usually do it on the banjo, but I just didn't want to bring a bunch of junk tonight. Elma Turl is a beautiful girl, and I'd love to have her for my wife. She's just the kind of a woman who could make me happy for the rest of my life. But my daddy said, son, there's something you don't know, and there's something I think you oughta. Elma Turl is a beautiful girl, but son, she's my daughter. Now Alice Green is a beautiful thing, and I'd love to have her for my wife. She's just the kind of a woman who could make me happy for the rest of my life. But my daddy said, son, there's something you don't know, and there's something I think you oughta. Alice Green is a beautiful thing, but you guessed it, she's my daughter. Well, I've been all around this Holden County like a buck hunting for a doe. And it seems every girl I'd like to marry is a Waldo daddy sewed. So I went to my mama with my head hung down, and she asked me what the matter could be. I told her my problem, and she took my hand and said, son, now listen to me. You see, your daddy was such a good-looking young man and like an eager young stallion horse. His blood ran hot, so you can't blame him for letting Mother Nature take her course. But you got no reason to be upset. Don't you worry, don't you fret, don't you bother. You see, your daddy ain't your daddy, though he thinks he is, so you can marry whoever you wanna. Rip-bip-bip-bip-bip-bip-bow, ya-da-da-da-da. Oh, God, y'all applaud anything, won't you? This is a Stan Rogers song, one of my favorite Stan Rogers songs, and I learned it, let's see, how old am I now? About 35 years ago, and I sang it for my father, and I not just for him, we were sitting around singing one day, and man, he fell in love with this song. And I thought, that's a nice song, I just didn't hear something as my dad would really have taken to so strongly. The older I get, and the longer I stay married, Jimmy Midori and Igor and Barbara know my wife. They know I married above my station. Mark knows my wife, and they all know that I did well. But the longer I stay married to Elise, the more this song has more and more meaning for me. So maybe even the older I get, I may not be able to do it anymore after I get really old. Well, at last the kids are gone now for the day. She reaches for the coffee as the school bus pulls away. Another day to tend the house and plan for Friday at the Legion when she's dancing with her man. Sure was a bitter winter, but Friday will be fine, and maybe last year's Easter dress will serve her one more time. She passed for 29, but for her eyes, but winter lines are telling wicked lies. Oh, lies. All those lines are telling wicked lies. Lies, all lies. Too many lines there in that face, too many to erase or to disguise. They must be telling lies. Well, is this the face that won for her the man whose amazed and clumsy fingers put that ring upon her hand? No need to search that mirror for the years. Menace in their message shouts across the blur of tears. So this is beauty's finish, like Rodin's Belle Mere, the pretty maiden trapped inside the ranch wife's toil and care. After 7 kids, that's no surprise, but why cannot her mirror tell her lies? Oh, lies. All those lines are telling wicked lies. Lies, all lies. Too many lines there in that face, too many to erase or to disguise. They must be telling lies. Then she shakes off the bitter web she wove, turns to set the mirror gently face down by the stove. She gathers up her apron in her hand, pours a cup of coffee, drips carnation from the can, and thinks ahead to Friday, 'cause Friday will be fine. She'll look up in that weathered face that loves hers line for line, to see that maiden shining in his eyes, and laugh at how her mirror tells her lies. Oh, lies. All those lines are telling wicked lies. Lies, all lies. Too many lines there in that face, too many to erase or to disguise. They must be telling lies. I really wasn't thinking autobiographical when I put this set together, but it seems like a bunch of these songs relate. I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I was not a world-class athlete in high school. Why are you laughing? I was that one that always was sitting there going, well, when they get to the last person, that's the team I'm going to be on. This is a song that Paul Stuckey did that is about my junior high and high school years. I think he must have known my mom and talked to her when he wrote this. So, Saturday summers, when I was a kid, we'd run to the schoolyard and here's what we did. Pick out the captains, we'd choose up the teams. It was always a measure of my self-esteem, 'cause the fastest, the strongest played shortstop and first. The last ones they picked were the worst. I never needed to ask, it was sealed. I just took up my place in right field.
I didn't even understand that line for a long time. I had to get somebody to explain it to me. Playing right field, it's easy, you know. You can be awkward, you can be slow. That's why I'm here in right field, watching the dandelions grow. Playing right field can be lonely and dull. Little leagues never have lefties that pull. I didn't get that line either. I dream of the day they'd hit one my way. They never did, but still I would pray that I'd make a fantastic catch on the run and not lose the ball in the sun. And then I'd awake from this long reverie and pray that the ball never came out to me. Here in right field, it's easy, you know. You can be awkward, you can be slow. That's why I'm here in right field, watching the dandelions grow. Off in the distance, the game's dragging on. There's strikes on the batter, some runners are on. I don't know the inning, I've forgotten the score. The whole team is yelling and I don't know what for. Suddenly everyone's looking at me. My mind has been wandering, what could it be? They point to the sky and I look up above, and a baseball falls into my glove. Here in right field, it's important, you know. You gotta know how to catch, you gotta know how to throw. That's why I'm here in right field, watching the dandelions grow. Some of you know that I sing in a Peter, Paul, and Mary trio. We had a gig Friday night a week ago out in Maricopa. And man, except for a group in Yuma right before the Glendale Folk Festival, that's the best singing group we've ever had. I swear I think they raised the roof about that high before the end of that concert. So you're going to have a chance to emulate the name of the development out there is The Province, and that's my last name. So when they introduced me, I said, yeah, I own the place and I'm raising their rent. Peter, Paul, and Mary, they didn't write most of the songs that they recorded. You know, they just got them from everywhere. Bob Dylan, Tom Paxton, Ian and Sylvia, Kingston Trio, Gordon Lightfoot, they just took songs from everywhere. But one song that Peter was involved with, at least, he was stunned. He wrote the song, and he was stunned to find out when he read Newsweek magazine that Puff the Magic Dragon was a song about drugs. Now, he had not intended for it to be about drugs. He didn't realize it was about drugs. It was right there in Newsweek magazine. He decided, it must be about drugs. Puff, the magazine said, meant to inhale. The magic drag in also meant to inhale. Live by the sea. Sea, they said, stood for cocaine. Now, I watched Sesame Street. A is for apple, B is for ball, C is for cocaine. Little Jackie Paper. Now, that, they said, was a clever, covert reference to paper. Strings and sealing wax, that they said was the paraphernalia of junkies. Now that's nothing more than sloppy research. But as he read the article, sure enough, Peter said the song was about drugs. He started looking at other songs that he had written and he was singing, he said they were all about drugs. Now I was a college band director for 25 years. We played the same song every football and basketball game, and I'm sorry to have to share with this with you now, but oh, say can you see? C stands for cocaine. By the dawn's early light, when we know junkies are shooting up. Twilight's less gleaming, well, that's the last time I got high. Twilight's, you know, the broad stripes, prison uniforms, the bright stars, narcotics agents' badges, and gave proof through the night that I guess you could ruin anything with this ridiculous kind of logic. And Puff the Magic Dragon is not about drugs, but neither is the Star-Spangled Banner. But you get a chance to sing it anyway. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea, frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff, brought him strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Sing it. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea, frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea. Frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Now, some people are singing great. I'm seeing some people who are, as Pete Seeger used to say, preserving their intellectual objectivity. So, I tell you what, two things. One, I'll sound a whole lot better if you'll sing. Secondly, when you go home tonight, you go, golly, I love that song. I wish I'd sung it. So you get a couple more chances. Together they would travel on a boat with billowed sail. Jackie kept a lookout perched on Puff's gigantic tail. Noble kings and princes would bow whene'er they came. Pirated ships would lower their flag when Puff roared out his name. Sing it, Puff the magic, that's better. Live by the sea. Frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea. Frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Well, a dragon lives forever, but not so little girls and little boys. Painted wings and giant's rings make way for other toys. One gray night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more. And Puff, that mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. His head was bent in sorrow, green scales fell like rain. I put on her to play along the cherry lane. Without his lifelong friend, Puff not to be brave. That mighty dragon sadly slipped into his cave. Sing it! Not bad for a bunch of junkies. The autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea. Looked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Give yourselves a hand. Yay, 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 yay. Oh, let's see. What else have I got here? Oh, let's don't do that yet. Well, let's do this. As I said, I was a college teacher for 25 years, and anybody who's ever worked on a college campus knows the politics that go on. I was not really good at that. That's why it was determined I was not the future of the program at ASU. But I thought I did a good job. I just couldn't handle politics. So this is a takeoff on a somewhat popular song that has to do with my college teaching years. I came, bought all my books, lived in the dorm, followed direction. I worked, I studied hard, met lots of folks who had connection. I crammed, they gave me grades, though I say not in a fair way, but much more than this, I did it their way. I memorized all sorts of things, although I know I'll never use them. The courses that I took were all required, I didn't choose them. I learned that to survive, it's best to act the doctrinaire way. And so I buckled down and did it their way. But there were times I wondered why I had to walk when I could fly. I had my doubts, but after all, I clipped my wings. I learned to crawl, I learned to bend, and in the end, I did it their way. And so, my fine young friend, now that I am a full professor, where once I was oppressed, I've now become the cruel oppressor. Like me, you'll learn to cope, you'll learn to climb life's golden stairway. Like me, you'll see the light, you'll do it their way. For what can I say, what can I do? Open your book, read chapter 2, and if to you it seems routine, don't speak to me, go see the dean. As long as they give me my pay, I'll do it their way. I got these words really small. I meant to bring them up a little bit larger, Dan. I forgot about it. At the risk of being self-indulgent, this is a Harry Chapin song that, that Elma Turrell song makes fun of my wife, but I mean, those of you who know her know that she's amazing. And we've been married now, golly, how long has it been? 37 years. We dated 12 years before that. So we've been together almost exclusively, almost 40 years. There was a little time in there where we broke up when I moved to Colorado. We actually broke up and we were not on good terms. And she was in North Carolina, moved to Colorado. I still haven't figured out how we got married after that. I guess, when you talk about fate, there was just no one else that was going to work. And like I said, we don't even know when we first met. So like I said, we've been together for 39 years, and we have no idea. We know it had to be after 1963 because that's when I moved to North Carolina. Other than that, we're really not sure when it was. I remember in graduate school, our son was 3.5, and I was doing my doctorate in Boulder, and we never gave him a bedtime. Because I thought, he's going to wake up when he wakes up. We don't have any, or my wife didn't have any obligations in the morning, so she could sleep as long as he did. Problem with that was I wouldn't start studying until he went to bed. So 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, I'd start studying on my doctoral work. And Elise, one point, finally said, Marty, God, maybe it'd been better if we just stayed in North Carolina. I said, honey, the only thing harder than having you be here in Colorado would have had you being back in North Carolina and not being here with me. So I love her dearly, and this is a Harry Chapin song that he could have written about me. Go get close so I can see it. I can see myself, it's a golden sunrise. Young boy, open up your eyes. It's supposed to be your day. Now off you go, horizon bound, and you won't stop until you found your own kind of way. And the wind will whip your tousled hair, the sun, the rain, the sweet despair, great tales of love and strife. But somewhere on your path to glory, you will write the story of a life. And all the towns that you walk through and all the people that you talk to sing you their songs. And there are times you change your stride, there are times you can't decide, still you go on. And the young girls dance their gypsy tunes and share the secrets of the moon. So soon you find a wife, and though she sees your dreams go poorly, still she joins your story of a life. So you settle down and the children come, and you find a place that you come from, your wandering is done. And all your dreams of open spaces you find in your children's faces, one by one. And all the trips you know you missed, and all the lips you never kissed, cut through you like a knife. And now you see stretched out before thee just another story of a life. So what do you do now when she looks at you now? You know those same old jokes all the jesters tell, you tell them to her now. And all the same old songs all the minstrels sing, you sing them to her now. But it don't matter anyhow, 'cause she knows by now. So every chance you get don't mean a thing. What variations can you bring to this shop-worn melody? And the years roll by like a tolling bell. It's battered merchandise you sell, not well she can see. And though she's heard it all 1,000 times, couched in your attempted rhymes, she'll march to your drum and fife. But the question that goes up before me, where's the magic story of a life? Now sometimes words can do me well, sometimes words can go to hell for all that they do. And for every dream that took me high, there's been a dream that's passed me by. I know it's so true. And I can see it clear out to the end, and I whisper to her now again, because she shared my life. For more than all the ghosts of glory, she makes up the story. She's the only story of my life. Oh, thank you. Oh, let's see. We got a few more minutes. Oh, this is, now that I sang a sweet song about my wife, I'll sing a song which is not autobiographical. If any of you go home and tell Elise that I said this was about me, I'm going to, anybody recording this, please, you're recording, so I can send her to you. I tell it's a lie. I'd like to have a mistress, I told my wife one day, to help me through the middle years. It would suit a man my age. And to my great astonishment, she never said a word. She just looked at me as if to say, now don't be so absurd. I'd like to have a mistress no more than 21, with a figure like a goddess who would make me feeling young. She'd make me tea in the afternoon, served on a silver tray, dressed only in her birthday suit or a skimpy negligee. I'd like to have a mistress who was tender, young, and chic. We'd make love in the afternoon, maybe once or twice a week. I'd leave the office early, and I'd go round to her flat. We'd always have champagne on ice as we take a bubble bath. I'd like to have a mistress who would know just what to do. She'd have read The Perfumed Garden and the Kama Sutra too. And the more I think about it, the more I think it wise. My wife just looked at me and said, why don't you advertise? I'd like to have a mistress, so ran the ad next day. The work is light, the hours are short, and we can discuss the pay. I waited by the phone all day, and I got just one reply. When she came round for an interview, I could not believe my eyes. At last I had a mistress whose every dream come true. She was sexy, blonde, and beautiful, though she was 22. My wife gave her approval, she didn't seem to mind. I hardly could believe my luck, they hit it off just fine. It was nice to have a mistress, it seemed so civilized. It gave a touch of spice to life, there was always some surprise. Then one afternoon I found a note upon her door, saying our affair was over, she'd not see me anymore. I'd like to have a mistress who would be a little more content, not go running off from me, not saying where she went. One I could rely on to stay with me through life, not leave me with a note to say she ran off with my wife. Oh, let's do that. This This is another Harry. I just love Harry Chapin. Only thing I ever knew about him in college, which was Cats in the Cradle, which I thought was okay, but I thought it was a little heavy-handed. But I can see how that could be true. But he came to Wake Forest. I was a student at Wake Forest. He came to Wake Forest my freshman year. For $5, he played a 4-hour-and-a-half concert with an intermission. But the intermission, his brother Tom stayed on stage and played the whole time. So it was a 4.5-hour show for $5. And at that moment, I said, oh, I now have found a new muse. Harry died young. And it was sort of his own fault. He got caught having an affair after a show one night. His wife caught him. And so he made a commitment that he would come home after every show, if at all possible, and be at home. So this would never happen again. And he was coming home from the show one night, wrecked his car, and died in a car accident. But he wrote some amazing songs. Midori does Circle, which is another one of my favorite Harry Chapin songs. This is a song, Bruce Springsteen did it on the, when after Harry died, they had a commemorative concert. And Bruce did this song. It's all about music and what it meant to people, you know, and maybe we've gone past that, but, and Harry's saying maybe we didn't have to. Remember when the music came from wooden boxes strung with silver wire, and as we sang the words, it would set our minds on fire, and we believed in things, and so we'd sing. Remember when the music brought us all together to stand inside the rain, and as we'd join our hands, we'd meet in the refrain, for we had dreams to live, we had hopes to give. Remember when the music was the best of what we dreamed of for our children's time, and as we sang we worked, for time was just a line. It was a gift we saved, a gift the future gave. Remember when the music was a rock that we could cling to so we'd not despair, and as we sang we knew we'd hear an echo fill the air. We'd be smiling then, we would smile again. All the times I've listened and all the times I've heard, all the melodies I'm missing, and all the magic words, all those poignant voices, and the choices we had then. How I'd love to find we had those kinds of choices again. Remember when the music was a glow on the horizon of every newborn day, and as we sang the sun came up to chase the dark away, and life was good, for we knew we could. And remember when the music brought the night across the valley as the day went down, and as we'd hum the melody we'd be safe inside the sound, and so we'd sleep, we had dreams to keep. Remember when the music came from wooden boxes strung with silver wire, and as we sang the words it would set our minds on fire, and we believed in things, and so we'd sing, and so we'd sing. Thank you. Oh, let's do one more. And it's almost the song that I almost always do when I end a set. It's one of my two favorite songs in the world. Mark, don't leave. I want to talk to you about something before you go. I'm calling you out, man. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. Now, I taught public school music for a bunch of years too, and in every public school songbook is this song. However, they only use 3 of Woody's verses, so I don't do those verses. Woody wrote other verses, but everybody knows those 3. They don't always know the other ones, so I want to introduce some of Woody's other verses. Was a great high wall there that tried to stop me. Was a great big sign there. It said private property, but on the other side, it didn't say nothing. I guess that side was made for you and me. Singing, this land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water, this land was made for you and me. Now, in Woody Guthrie's biography, Bound for Glory, you can actually see a picture of his words, his original words, and you can see that "This land is your land" was not the original tagline. It was when "God Bless America" was popular, and Woody's original tagline, "Did God bless America for me?" So he hadn't had a great life, and his friend said, "Woody, that ain't going to sell. If you don't change that, nobody's ever going to do your song." So he changed it. Now, for some reason, Arlo Guthrie denies that that's the truth, but you can look at the book yourself and you can see the picture of Woody's original words. "God bless America, did God bless America for me?" crossed out. So, in this, this is one of the verses he wrote about tough times. In the Dust Bowl, in the squares of the city, in the shadow of the steeple, by the relief office, I saw my people. They stood there hungry, I stood there wondering if this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. Now, Igor and I, for the past several years, have been doing what we call a Pete Seeger sing-along. Pete used to talk about what was called the folk process. All he meant by that was that songs get changed and added to and rearranged. I don't know of any other song that has more verses that have been added to it than this one. Igor wrote an entirely new song about it. This earth is your earth. So, I mean, and there's just tons of verses. This is one of my favorite, and I think it was written by John McCutcheon, but I'm not sure. I'm a long way here, I've a long way to go yet. I got things to learn here, I got seeds to sow yet. So many brothers and sisters, seems they still don't know yet that this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water, this land was made for you and me. And I only found out late in life that I have Cherokee Indian heritage in my background, actually pretty strong. My great-grandmother was half Cherokee, and I knew her. I never knew this about her, but as I look back and think of, how she physically looked, I said, oh, I can see that. I wish that somebody had told me that before I was 35. I would love to have looked into that. But maybe because of that, this is one of my favorite verses. If anybody's ever been up to the Meteor Crater National Monument up near Flag, that's where the astronauts that were going to the moon went to train. Because they decided that on the Earth that they could get to, that was the place that was closest to what the astronauts were going to have to be seeing when they were on the moon. So they went up there to train to go to the moon. And there's an old Navajo legend that says that when someone dies, their spirit goes to live on the moon. And one of these smart-ass astronauts knew that legend and decided he was going to have a little fun while he was in Flagstaff. And he found an old Navajo gentleman, probably 90 years old, and said, I'm going to the moon. Is there anything you would like for me to tell your ancestors when I see them? Without batting an eye, the guy said, yeah, tell them not to sign any treaties. This land is your land, but it once was my land until we sold you Manhattan Island. You shoved my nation on the reservation. This land was stole by you from me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water, this land was made for you and me. Now you're gonna have one more chance, and if anybody out there is walking past, you want them coming and go, what the hell is going on in there? I wish I had gone in tonight. So I want you to, this is a big tall ceiling, so you're gonna have to work hard to raise this roof. Let's see if you can push it maybe 2 inches. I dropped a pick, put it down. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Sing the last line. This land was made for you and me. One more time. This land was made for you and me. Thank you for coming and being a fun audience. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Barbara.
Thank you, Marty. Give Marty another big hand.
Throw money.
And Igor for accompaniment. Okay. So next week is jam-only night. So bring a lot of songs. Because I don't know how many people are going to be here, but so be prepared to go through several times, okay? So until then, go home.